What do you think would happen if you had a magic spell that would capture your students' attention the minute they walked into your classroom? Today, I'm going to share that spell with you.
It's the Happy Music Teacher!
Are you an elementary music teacher who's frustrated and overwhelmed? I'm Jeanette, a happy music teacher who loves teaching every day, but it wasn't long ago I was in your shoes. Join me Wednesdays to help you find happy in your music classroom. I know you're busy. You're an elementary music teacher and you're tired. You need ideas right now. You need to know what to do without having tons of extra prep because you're busy. You've got your concert to deal with, and you've got your lesson plans to do, and you've got those students, and you've got your choir, or maybe you're teaching elementary school band. You've got stuff to do, and you need help. You need done for you quick lesson plans that are going to keep your students engaged right away. Today I'm going to share with you 3 strategies, 3 tiny little activities that you can use right away as soon as you go back to school in the fall. So the first one is my ready to play start. And this is where your kids come in and let's paint the picture here. They're standing in the hallway. Their teacher has them quiet. They start into your classroom and it's immediate. They're talking, they're goofing off, they're running, they're jumping, they're finding their seat if they have a seat. If they don't have a seat, they're like, trying to figure it. No, I want to sit next to him. No, I got to sit next to him last time. You know how it goes, right? So what if you could have the students come in and they could be super engaged and their mouths could already be working in the way you want them to work right away. So I'm going to share with you my favorite ready to play activity for littles. And then I'm going to tell you about my favorite ready to play activities or my favorite ready to play starts for my bigger kids, for my intermediate students. So for littles, the best thing to do is I want you to think about at the beginning of the year, you're probably working on steady beat. So let's think about first thing out of the box. So I have the 3 S's: straight, silent, and set. So straight is they have to be in a straight line. Silent is they have to be silent. They cannot be talking to their neighbors. And set is they are ready to come in and listen and learn in my classroom. So they do not come into the classroom until those 3 things are done: straight, silent, and set. And that is my bonus tip because I wasn't intending to do that one, but I thought you needed it. So that is the first thing. They walk into my classroom, and before they walk in, I give them a task. And with my littles, my kindergarten, my pre-K, my first graders, my second graders, actually, they all get this task. So if you are working on steady beat, then they can practice by walking in to a steady beat. So what you do is you put on some music and the music will be playing, and make sure you loop it if it's music that's going to end quickly. And I usually try to pick something that I'm going to be doing later in the day so they have a chance to listen to it. And we will do they may march, they may walk, they may jog, whatever it happens to be, they're going to do it to the steady beat. So let's say you're going to say, walking to the beat now, to the beat now, to the beat now, walking to the beat now, and sit down. Or you could do walking to your dot now, to your dot now, and their job, but you want to put the beat in there somehow. So I train my kids up this way from the first time they come into class. So if you sing directions to your students, that is going to help them, especially your little guys. And I did an experiment with this where I sang to some of my pre-Ks, and some of my pre-Ks, I just spoke the directions. And when I sang the directions, almost every student, almost every time, you're going to always have those random kiddos, but most of your students are going to do what you want. So maybe you're working on fast walking, or you're working on fast and slow. Fast walk to your dot now, to your dot now, to your dot now. Maybe you're working on long and short. Long walk to your dot now, to your dot now. Short walk to your dot now, to your dot now. Maybe you're working on soft and loud. Stomp loud to your dot now, to. So you are keeping them active and moving and listening from the second they come in to your classroom. Then you do sit down on the floor, crisscross applesauce, hands in your lap. So my next activity is I do a hello song, and I sing hello to each and every person. And I will link in the show notes to my hello song on my YouTube channel, so you can check it out. So that is what I do with that. My intermediate students, my third grade, my fourth grade, my fifth grade, we are going to do, and second grade, once they get to about, I don't know, a third of the way through the year, we'll start this too. And what we do, because your little kids, they need that moving all the time, as you know. Plus, moving is the best way, hearing and moving the best ways to get them to learn. But once they get into like mid-second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, yes, they still learn that way, but you obviously want to do some other things. So with my intermediate students, I am going to have them, like, they may be reading rhythm cards. They may be reading like ti, ti, ta, ta, ta. I mean, that's, your second graders, your very beginning third graders, whatever. Your fourth graders, maybe, you're working on 16th notes, or whatever it is you're working on with your students in that particular time frame. And if I'm saying 16th notes in fourth grade and your kids are not doing 16th notes yet because they haven't gotten whole note and half note and whatever, then maybe you're doing 16th notes in fifth grade. It doesn't matter. You do you. You do what your students are capable of. That's what you're supposed to be doing, right? You're not supposed to, we are not about saying, okay, every third grader needs to know these rhythms, because that's not how it works. We know that. Every teacher knows that. It's just, with the classroom teachers, they are being stipulated, this is exactly how we need things to go. With us, that doesn't have to happen. And if the person down the street from you is teaching their kids 16th notes in second and third grade and your kids aren't ready for them, they're not ready for them. And that's okay. So anyway, you're going to either hold up rhythm cards and you're going to do some echoing, or you're going to have rhythm cards in the room that are up, and you've got your remote and you're clicking one at a time. If you don't have a remote yet, get yourself a remote. They're not very expensive and they are gold. Or you could have a kid that's clicking them, right? So you start out the year, I read, you read. Always, even with your fifth graders, they need that refresher. They've been out of school for 2 months and they've had you 26 times last year, right? Maybe 26 times. So always refresher. We start out echoing, me first, then you. And then you can get into other things. By mid-year, they're going to be reading those rhythms. Maybe by the third part of the year, maybe by the end of the first quarter, they're going to be, whatever it happens to be. You're going to watch what they're doing, but that is the ready to play start. Now, it works really well because there's immediate focus, because it's novel and it's clear nonverbal expectation. So try this when your students are entering. Quick win number 2, the movement multiplier specifically for focus. So I'm going to tell you that if your students get wiggly while you are doing an activity, you are not alone. All the students get wiggly. It's just a thing. It's not you. Change that mindset now. It is not your fault if they are getting wiggly. So if they are getting wiggly, I have had like I always have a certain structure to my class, and we usually start out with the hello song, and then we go into usually just a real quick little teachy thing. And then, and it's never me speaking. It's always, something very active and engaging. But then we'll go into our movement, right? If your kids need movement the second they come in, or maybe you've sat them down and you've read a storybook to them and you have intentions to play instruments, but you look at them and you're like, oh, this is not going to be working today, go with it. Go with what your kids are showing you. If they are wiggly, then it is okay to change up your lesson. So I love to use, and this works for pre-K all the way through 5th grade, I put on a song that I know they love, and we just do, and we're moving to the steady beat. And right? You can do something like that. The other thing you can do is musical Simon Says. Simon Says, show me. Now maybe you're learning about staccato and legato. Show me a staccato movement with your hand. Show me a staccato movement with your head. Show me a staccato movement with your elbows. And I love to say it staccato. I love to do that. Show me a legato movement with your bootay. And I love to use the word bootay because the kids, it takes them a second and they're like, what? And then they're like, ah! And we do that kind of stuff in my class because they love silly. The more silly you are, the better it's going to be. So that is my quick win number 2, the movement multiplier for focus. And it works every time. It's good for physical engagement. It's an active brain break. If you don't feel like thinking about an active brain break, then you can put on a Mr. Henry or a Brielle or one of those ones. And if you're not on my email list, I share during the school year every single Friday some kind of a quick brain break, a video play along, body percussion. I share something every single week. You go on to thehappymusicteacher.com/engagement. And not only will you get an amazing workshop, but you're also going to get some, every week you're going to get that, I call it Friday Fun Day. And the last thing is it's a really good energy release. This is a good one. Think about one concept that you are teaching next week and brainstorm one type of movement that your students can do to show understanding. If you can't think of anything, make it up on the fly. Quick win number 3, the sing it out the door exercise, or the sing it out the door exit. So it is really important for your students to come in and leave in a way that is not chaotic, especially when they're leaving, for sure when they're coming in, because you don't want it to be chaotic because that makes a mess of your classroom. But at the end of the class, it's important for your colleagues that their students coming back to them are not chaotic. So the best way to do that is to make sure that you have some sort of a simple, engaging, formative way to end class that still reinforces those learning concepts and it keeps the students focused until the very last second. One thing you can do is you could say, if you can sing the first phrase of our new song, you can line up and you'll say, give me a thumbs up if you can do that. And okay, Bobby, Shallon, et cetera, and they can line up. Or show me the rhythm, ta, ti, 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 ta. And if they can clap it back to you, they get to line up. Something like that. Or you can do something where you sing the first line of the song, and as they're leaving, they sing the next line. So something like that. Anything that, first of all, helps them to kind of keep what you did in mind. Second of all, helps them to, like, they love to be called to line up. I don't know why, but it's a thing. So if you can get them to show you, or let's say maybe show me, we'll go back to staccato and legato. Show me a staccato way to walk to the door. And you say, green group, show me a staccato way to walk to the door, that kind of a thing. So that is quick win number 3. Now, if you are looking for more engaging strategies that you can steal to use right away in your classroom, you have 2 options. Option number 1, if you are listening to this podcast or watching this podcast when it is July of 2025, the 3rd annual Make Music Magic Summit is happening August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And everybody, the whole theme for the summit is Steal Our Strategies. And you will find so many amazing strategies that you can steal and bring back to your classroom right away. Let's go back, and I'm going to review just those 3 quick wins. Win number 1, the ready to play start. So you are going to, with your little kids, you're going to move them into the classroom in a way that's going to get them ready for whatever the concept is that you're teaching. So for example, maybe you're teaching quiet. Tiptoe to your dot now, to your dot now. If you've got your big kids, you're going to have them either reading rhythms, maybe they're echoing solfege, maybe they're echoing rhythms, maybe they are echoing the words to the song that you learned last week. Something that keeps them actively engaged right away. Then, quick win number 2, the movement multiplier. You are going to find some kind of movement that is going to focus on whatever the skill is you're doing, even with your littles. Again, now they've learned, right? So instead of telling them what to do, you're going to say, Simon says, show me a way you can make your body look quiet, or a way you can make your body sound quiet, that kind of a thing. And quick win number 3, the sing it out the door exit. So you're either singing out the door or you're doing something so that you're reviewing that concept over and over and over. They need that. Don't forget, the Make Music Magic Summit is coming up soon.
This podcast is a proud member of the Teach Better Podcast Network. Better today, better tomorrow, and the podcast to get you there. Explore more podcasts at www.teachbetterpodcastnetwork.com.
Well, that's all I have for you today. But before I go, I want to remind you, keep learning, keep growing, and keep being fabulous you.